He knew. I'm saying that knowing happened in the presence of the Lord. Of the Lord. He was not under the influence of Pito. Are you there? He was under the influence of Pito. It was not after watching a romantic movie. They say, who can we recreate this thing with? Stella. No, that's not it. It was in the presence of the Lord.
Welcome to Global Dominion Media. Please kindly subscribe.
What does it mean to ask someone out? I'm going to stand on this one until I get feedback. I'm not preaching. Yes. The lady in red, you came prepared. Talk to us.
Sir, it means that the guy is asking the lady to be his girlfriend.
Okay.
So that
more jargon, meaning what? Girlfriend means.
Please don't video me. Okay. To see if they can take the friendship a bit higher, so that they would see if they would marry.
Okay.
If there is a possibility of marriage.
Okay, so they see if they can take.
It's really vague. It's just a vague.
That's right, okay. It's vague.
Yes, sir. It's just a vague thing.
Please, people that have the clarity, talk to us. Our own is vague. Now we are getting somewhere. Wait, did I hear chairman? Who was that? You guys should. All right. Since they say you are chairman, please talk to us. What does it mean to ask someone out?
It is a kind of a formal request for a romantic relationship.
Oh boy. It's a kind of formal request for a romantic relationship. What is the meaning of a romantic relationship? Because, we're in the house of God. So we need to be sure of the freight that are involved in the terminologies that we use. Isn't it? Now, so what is a romantic relationship?
Well, it is that relationship between people of opposite sex that are looking towards getting married.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Some people are shaking their head. You are disagreeing with chairman. Some people are not completely agreeing with chairman on this matter. Okay, what's a romantic relationship? So that we know what these terms mean, the way we are using them, and then we can agree. A romantic relationship. So he said that asking someone out is a formal request, all right? For what again? To what? For a romantic relationship. A formal request for a romantic relationship. That's between, at least because we are Christians, between male and female. Isn't it? So the next thing is, a romantic relationship means what? What is a romantic relationship? He said that it is the relationship between two people of the opposite sex that are looking towards marriage. Something like that. Isn't it? Okay. So, what's a romantic relationship? Yes, the microphone should go that way. They are calling you from that side. What's a romantic relationship? Yes, man in white.
For me, a romantic relationship is a relationship that is sexually attached and is emotional.
Okay.
But asking out does not mean it must be romantic.
Okay.
Asking out is actually calling a lady out of a crowd.
Calling a lady out of a crowd.
Yes.
Lemo.
Now, what I mean by calling a lady
Oyo
out.
moyo. Okay. Yes. Let's go.
What I mean by calling a lady out
Out
is,
of the crowd.
Yes. That is separating her.
Separate unto me
Paul and Barnabas.
Paul and Barnabas. In this case, You want to separate her out.
So she herself knows the meaning that I want something more serious with you. But it does not mean it must be romantic, because boundaries can be kept.
Okay. So, hello. What he's trying to do is to try to divorce the relationship from sexual connotations and practices, while retaining the other elements of exclusivity, isn't it? So you separate the person out of the crowd, so there's something exclusive in that sense going on between you and the person, but it does not have to be sexual. And it is in that sense that he's using the word romantic, so that for him the word romantic is sexually imbued. It carries that connotation. And one of the problems is definitions. Okay? So even with the dictionary, all right, in the dictionary you will find that, of course, a romantic relationship would be inclusive of, it has sexual implications if a relationship is romantic, but a romantic relationship does not have to be. Do you get it? Now, it is not compulsory, because there is more to it to be romantic than sex in that sense. But it is not that it will be a violation of being romantic if it is sexual. You get it? So this is where the problem of definitions come. So that when we use those words, we could use the same words therefore, and then different persons would interpret them with variations. And on the basis of those interpretations, would go on to fulfill the import of the interpretation that they have invested into the words. So the burden therefore is, what do we do? What do we do? Do we avoid the words completely? Or do we do the kind of thing we are trying to do now? Do we have our own restricted or Christian definitions for those same words? It's easy to say, well, as Christians, we use the same words, but we know what we mean. Do you understand that? We know what we mean. The challenge with that is when you have to engage in conversation. Is that okay? So if you engage in conversation, and then somebody who is not a believer were to ask you, like, the way I've been seeing you and that lady, is there anything romantic between you two? What do you say? If you say yes, the person might interpret your yes through the lenses of his own interpretation of what romantic means. Then if the person out here is still trying to preach one day on Twitter, and I say, you're a Christian, no sex before marriage, no sex outside marriage. And I say, see this one that I asked, if he had a romantic relationship with somebody, and he told me with his own mouth, yes. All these hypocrites. He's now coming to Twitter. Don't believe everything you hear on Twitter. Oh. They will now use it to do parable. Meanwhile, nothing you have said in that post violates what you actually said to him. Do you understand? But it's a definitional problem. Definitional problem. So the question therefore is, as believers, what do we do? What do we do? Because the landscape is very muddy. Even the word dating, that's part of the reason why we're having this conversation. Even the word dating does not need to be romantic in a sexual sense, right? But it's hardly ever not so. Hardly ever not so. And it's gotten to the point where we have Christians on social media and all of that. I was thinking maybe we'll get there in the course of the week, in the course of this whatever, that advocate like vehemently that no one should get married to somebody if you are not sure of sexual compatibility. Haven't you seen it? Don't look at me like that. The thing I'm saying, have you not heard people advocate for it on social media this year, 2024? No, talk to me. Talk to me. And I'm talking about people that are professed believers, professing Christians. So the question is, how many people are you going to be checking that compatibility with? You check with one and say, we are not compatible. Then 3 months later, you find another person. Then you now check. Say, her face is good, but we are not compatible. Then maybe the one you think you are compatible, that one is the one that think you are not compatible. Because this thing is a two-way traffic. Isn't it? When the guy finally says, yeah, I think the next thing will be to say, on all the matters where compatibility might be checked, how do you rank them? How many other compatibilities are there to check? Talk to me. Sexual compatibility. What other compatibilities there? Genotype. You do genotype compatibility. Talk to me. Talk to me now. Financial compatibility. You said? Educational compatibility. Spiritual compatibility. Behavioral compatibility. Intellectual compatibility. Keep it coming, keep it coming. You said? Physical compatibility. Glory. Physical compatibility. Number 8. Political compatibility. Yes. You want to be sure? You want to confirm if a town hall is different. So, political compatibility. That's number 9. Cultural compatibility. Yes. Number 10. Tribal compatibility. 11. Passion. Oh, fashion. Yes. Fashion compatibility. That's number 12. Purpose. Like purpose compatibility. Okay. Number 13. Purpose compatibility. Different from intellectual. And different from educational. Because we did educational, we did intellectual. Social compatibility. 13. Church compatibility. So it's not just spiritual compatibility. There's also church compatibility. Okay? 14. Talk to me. So we have just listed about 14, and that's excluding the ones that they might be listing online. We've listed about 14 areas of compatibility. So you begin to see that there are a number of unprocessed ideas that we bring to the table. And these ideas, part of the reason they are unprocessed is because when one idea is floating in your head, you normally don't plug it into the other idea that you also hold concerning the same subject. So sometimes you are thinking of one thing, and then it's as if that thing is the main thing, is the only thing, is the main thing. Then later on, when another matter comes up, another subject comes up, you also start to consider that one. Forgetting that this one you are considering now is very different from the other one you considered the other time. And it may be the case that one could be present and the other one might be absent. But right now, when you are looking at, maybe you are looking at cultural compatibility, whatever that means. You may look like, no, me, I cannot marry somebody that is, me, I cannot. Okay, when you finish saying that thing, you may find a person that ticks that box. Isn't it? You may find a person that ticks the box the cultural compatibility box is ticked, and then, but then you realize that the person does not tick physical compatibility box. Again, whatever that means. Say, yes, it's just that. It's just that she's too fair. Because I know that if the person is too dark, there are ways around it. I don't know what they used to do for. So the problem is just that she's too fair. I don't know. Is there? I know there are skin lightening, whitening, and all of that, bleaching things. I don't know if there's a reverse of it. Tanning. You can tan. Glory. When you are taking this matter, you take it as if that's the only matter. Then when you get to the other matter, you may find what you were looking for. Then you now realize that there are other things that are important to you that are also not there. Definitions are very important. We come to the issue of this whole compatibility thing. But definitions is what I'm trying to deal with right now. To say that even when we say, are we dating? Are we not dating? What exactly does it mean? What does it mean? Before we say, and so because of that, a Christian should not. Or because of that, it's not a big deal if a Christian engages in it. You will notice that there could be like 6 different views in terms of definitional views within this house. And I was trying to ask the question, what then should we do? Do we keep the words and redefine them for ourselves? That could work until you are talking with somebody who does not hold the same values as you. And now you are using the same word, but you are using that word with different meanings. It's not every time you have the chance to now say, and when I say dating, I mean that you now start to give them a maker's definition. That's not how it works. You don't have the chance every single time. Or you don't have the chance every time when you are saying, yeah, so it's actually kind of romantic. And then the person goes off from there. In fact, there might not be an opportunity to come back to pack that word with your own particular definition that might be convincing. Because it will be like, I beg. What is romance if it is not? Do you get it? So the issue is, what do we do? You understand the statement of the problem? You understand the statement of the problem? That's the statement of the problem. Now, having said so, what should the believer do? Well, if a Christian might be the will of God for him in marriage, we may even need to ask the question, how does he get to being convinced? Those are some of the questions we will ask you when you come to tell us that you are thinking that it might be. There might be Sister Rebecca who ask you questions. How did you come about this thought? How did you start thinking? That might be Sister Rebecca. Because that process is very important. Are you there? Not because you are accurate every time, but if your methodology is wrong, you are already wrong from the start. Do you get it? If you even get it wrong from methods. And over the last week, yes, in Abuja last week, I was looking at the fact that when God brought Eve to Adam, the way it happened was that when Adam saw Eve, Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. How do you know that this is bone of your bones? How do you know that this is flesh of your flesh? Hello? Remember that before God brought Eve to Adam, Adam had been put into a deep sleep state. A deep sleep fell upon Adam. And the Bible said, he slept and he slept. And in that sleep, Adam did not have a vision. In that sleep, Adam did not have a dream. It was after Adam's eyes were open and he was back to consciousness. Then, a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Okay, verse 22. And the rib which the Lord had taken from the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. Okay? Verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. The point I want to underscore with this is that at the bottom of it, is what we call a knowing. Let me hear you say knowing. Let me hear you say knowing. One of the most consistent, one of the most reliable, no, not reliable. It's reliable, but that's not the word I'm looking for. One of the most frequent, one of the most natural ways that God leads his people is via the thing that is called knowing. Say knowing. You will just know. You will just know. The reason is because God works in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. There's a reason why it is this person you think might be the one and not the other person. And usually, if it is a knowing, there might be other reasons that come after it. You look at this, you look at that, you think of this, you think of that. And then there could be other people also that you are processing through the lenses of all of those more than a dozen things you guys mentioned. Okay? Is he like this? Is she like that? Is he like this? Is she like that? The guy is doing his own, the lady is doing her own, right? But when the person is the person, there will be a lot more going on than those things. You might even come upon reasons from those your 14 lists that may be a disqualifier. But after your reason has reasoned and reasoned and reasoned, you will still know. You will still know that this is still the right thing to do. There's a knowing. And I'm saying that when Adam woke up from his sleep and saw Eve, it was almost natural. Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, and she shall be called woman. Adam, the wait is over. That's not what God said. God did not say, Adam, arise, kill, eat. God absolutely said what? Nothing. There was nothing dramatic about it. All that God did was that God brought the woman to the man. Brought the woman to the man. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There are some of you, hey, it's not too early to do application. We can do application now. There are some of you that God has brought the woman to you, but you are still waiting from a voice from heaven. I can assure you, you will wait long. Are you with me? You will wait. We wait long. Some of you are waiting from a dream. Waiting from a dream. You are waiting for a dream. Some of you are waiting for a vision. Or you want to see a trance. Say, I just stood and a screen appeared before my eyes. And it was a small garden. There were just about 19 people. And then I saw myself holding. And we're walking down a pathway with flowers on either side. Then maybe you now saw at the end, in the distance, about 19 people sat, and then you saw a clergyman with clerical collar, smiling and waiting for people to arrive. And you saw all of that in a flash the moment that Angela passed in front of you. So, he said, this has to be it. Can I tell you, God is not under any obligation to send you into a trance before he gives you a wife.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you always get notified whenever we post a new video.